So let me go through solving equation 6. We have 5y plus 5x equals 15 and y plus 2x equals 3. So in this case, I would probably eliminate the y's first. So since I have a 5y here, in order for it to cancel, I need the bottom number to be a what? Negative 5y. So in order to make this a negative 5y, so y times what is negative 5y? Well, that would be a negative 5. So that's what we're going to multiply and distribute to every single term. So that becomes negative 5y. Then this becomes a negative 10x, and negative 5 times 3 equals a negative 15. Then I'm going to write equation 1 on top of it. 5y plus 5x equals 15. Now I can add them together. So notice that my 5y's can cancel out. 5x minus 10x, well, that's a negative 5x equals 0. Let's go ahead and divide by negative 5. It's okay, the 0 is on top. So in this case, we know x equals 0. So now that we know x equals 0, we're going to substitute it into one of the equations. So I'm going to go ahead and substitute that in equation 2. So x equals 0. So in equation 2, we have y plus 2 times 0, that x, equals 3. So 2 times 0 is just 0. And so y equals 3. And notice that's the answer down here. Now, just to show you how to do the check, let's do that together. We have, we're just plugging in our x is 0 and our y is 3. So this is our x, this is our y. So now these are in different positions. So 5 times our y value, which is 3, plus 5 times our x value, which is 0, does that equal 15? So 5 times 3 is 15, and that does equal 15, so that's good. Let's try the second equation, and then we'll go ahead and try this bottom one here. So y is 3 plus 2 times the x value of 0. Does that equal 3? So that cancels out, so 3 equals 3. That is correct. So let's go on to multiplying both equations. Notice that this is 2x plus 3y equals negative 3, and 3x plus 4y equals negative 2. We have 2 and 3 and 4 and 3. We can't just multiply one equation anymore. We actually have to multiply by both. Now, these numbers are pretty small, but when we're choosing an x or y value, we want to choose one that maybe has opposite signs already, but more likely you want to pick one that has the smaller numbers when you think about multiplying them. So 2 and 3 are pretty small. Like say, for instance, this is 7 and this is 9. Those are pretty large. And so if you pick the large numbers, you might be more apt to make mistakes because, they're just larger numbers you have to deal with. So let's go ahead and we're going to eliminate our x's first because the numbers are smaller. So the top one, well, what do we want these to be in order to go away? Well, we have to think about what factor that they have in common. And so 2 and 3, well, if we think about just multiplying them together, 6. So 2x, we can make it to a 6x, and the 3x, we could also make it to a 6x. Now we just decide which one's negative. So let's go ahead and make the denominator, or the second equation, negative. So in order to make this happen, we have 2x plus 3y equals negative 3, and 3x plus 4y equals negative 2. So in order to make the top 6, we have to multiply by 3. So notice I'm just taking that 3 and multiplying it to the equation 1. Then in the bottom equation, we need to make that the negative 6x, since the top is positive. So 3 times 2. So notice it's the same exact number. In this case, so we have to multiply by a negative 2, so that way it's a negative 6. So let's multiply the top. 3 times 2x is 6x, plus 3 times 3 is 9y equals negative 3 times 3 is negative 9. Then in the bottom equation, we'll distribute. Negative 2 times 3x is negative 6x. Negative 2 times 4y is negative 4y. The negative 2 times the negative 2 is a positive 4. The x's canceled now. We have 9 minus 8. We're left with 1y. The negative 9 plus 4, that is negative 5. So now that we know our y value, we do what we did before. So we go ahead and plug in our y value into one of the equations. It could be the ones that are original. It could also be your changed ones if you'd like. But again, you want to choose maybe the smallest numbers to make sure that it works out. And actually in one of the originals is better. That way if there's a mistake in maybe how you wrote this, you might catch that. So let's go ahead and do it into one of the originals. So let's pick the top one, equation 1. So that is 2x plus 3 times our y value that we found here is negative 5, and that equals negative 3. So we have 2x minus 15 equals negative 3. Add 15 to both sides. I get 2x equals 12 divided by 2, or x equals 6. So, of course, we could do a check. So, let's check that real quick. 2 times 6 plus 3 times negative 5. Does that equal negative 3? 12 minus 15. Does that equal negative 3? Yeah, negative 3 equals negative 3, so this is good. The next example, let's check the next equation. 3 times 6 plus 4 times negative 5. Does that equal negative 2? So, 18 minus 20 equal negative 2. Yep, negative 2 certainly equals negative 2, so that is true. So my solution is 6 and negative 5. So I want you to go ahead and try the next example here, number 8. Pause the video, and when you come back, I'll have the answer for you. So in this case, I want to eliminate the y's. Notice those are my smaller numbers. And so negative 3y, negative 2y, well, it's kind of similar to the other problem. We want them to be 6y's, but opposite signs. So let's see. In the numerator, I'm going to multiply that by 2 to make that a negative 6y. And then in the bottom, I'm going to multiply that by negative 3. So negative 3 times negative 2 will be my positive 6y. That way it'll cancel. So here's the first equation. 7 times 2 is 14x. Minus 6y equals 19 times 2, which is 38. Then the bottom is negative 15x plus 6y equals negative 45. Then we subtract. 14 minus 15x is negative x. The y's cancel. And then we're left with 38 minus 45. Well, that's negative 7. So we can't leave this negative x in front. You have to make it positive. So to do that, you divide by a negative 1. So x, the variables must be positive. So x actually equals 7. And then we can check real quick, and we notice that that is true there. Then we take it, plug it into one of the originals. So let's do the top. Well, let's do the bottom one. 5 times 7 minus 2y equals 15. So 35 minus 2y equals 15. Subtract 35 from both sides. We get negative 2y equals negative 20. Divide by negative 2. And so y equals positive 10. So the ordered pair is 7 and positive 10. So now I want you to try out number 9 on your own. And then I'll just have the answer for you, or the work shown for you when you come back. So you tried out this example. This is kind of like the front equations that we did, level 2. And we only needed to multiply one equation. We only needed to multiply equation 1. So I chose to eliminate the y's. So I multiplied by a negative 3. Since I have a positive 3y, I wanted a negative 3y on top. So I multiplied by negative 3, negative 3x minus 3y equals negative 3. Then I added them together, and I got negative 6 on this side and positive 2x. I found out that x equals negative 3. So I hope this helps. It's always good to do a check, especially on a quiz or test if you have time. And I hope this helps out. Thanks for watching.